So we're on to our third and final big presentation of the day. I'm going to welcome to the stage our next speaker, Julie Boniche. And she's traveled to Frankfurt from Paris, which is great news, thank you. And Julie started her career as a lighting designer, but now she's a multimedia director for an amazing Moment Factory. But she's definitely going to tell you a little bit more about that, I'm sure. Julie, would you like to take the stage?
I'll just take that just in case. Yeah, there's.
Okay, and we're going to start with the lights down, I think. Can we have the lights down?
Yeah. Hi. Sound okay? Yeah. Okay. So my name is Julie Boniche. I asked to start this talk with a break of light, so you'll understand in a few minutes why. So Martin just said, I've been working with light since almost 15 years, but I have to say that today I work as a multimedia director at Moment Factory. So technically, on paper, I'm not really a woman lighting anymore, but it will still always be my first love, so my first main inspiration. But I have very talented teams, lighting designers in my team. So when I was invited to talk here, I couldn't help myself wondering, like, am I a fraud here, or am I still like allowed in the community? So it got me to reflect a bit on the title of multimedia director and actually multimedia experiences globally, because it's a word that I'm not really comfortable with. I've been carrying it for 8 years now, but every time everybody's looking at me like, okay, what do you actually do? It's a bit abstract. So I thought it's maybe a good opportunity to go deeper in what does that mean and what is actually that we all do together with light, or a bit wider than with light. So as a start in this darker room, there's a lot of light around, so I wish I could put you all in the complete darkness, but it's already good. And I want to start with a small story to tell you about a secret I once discovered. That was a bit the beginning of everything for me. It wants to tell you stories if you pay attention. It's everywhere around us. It's a flame. It's a spark. It's bright and dark. It's blue, yellow, purple, all the colors of the rainbow. It's sharp and blurry. It's a square, a line, an image. It stands still, but it's actually constantly moving. It talks Chinese, German, French, Arabic. It's a universal language. It gathers people together in silence. It controls our emotions to make magic happen. Light is a superpower. Once I understood that, my life changed. Of course, a lot of other people had discovered this very well-kept secret a long time before me. But once you start digging into the subject, you're mesmerized forever. I think that beauty is nothing but a game between light and dark. But how did I discover this very well-kept secret personally? Well, it started just looking around me at the world, and just was a way to grasp like the environment. I was always obsessed with small lights around me, and I felt that we were living in this ever-evolving impressionist painting, and that the entire world was a stage. So I spent years like capturing around me all these like small moments just for my friends and family. It was not something, I'm not a photographer or anything, it's just how we can look of our daily life and just grasp just how a candle can fill a gray day with warmth, or how a shade of a tree can make you feel fresh on a very hot day. It's a very simple lights, but that can make you change the way you look around yourself in your everyday light. But that was still just my way of sharing this superpower when I was young. But it was just a poetic way of looking around me. It's later, when I started to study set design and scenography, that I couldn't help myself, like how to imagine a set piece or a space without like how light was interacting in it, how light was making it exist. So my teachers, they were telling me at the end, like, okay, why are you not like working with light as a job? And I was like, okay, well, that's the time I discovered it could be a job, because I actually didn't know it before. And not much people on earth knows it's really a job. I mean, all of us here knows, but in my personal life, people were thinking maybe I design lamps, or so I had to explain, no, I'm like shaping and creating entire worlds with light. With like as a matter is our raw material. But also me, I could, like, my perspective was evolving as I was digging into the subject. So for me, dark was never dark again, which was cool because I was afraid of the dark as a kid. And white was never white again. So all the people in this room knows what it means, but not everybody. So I spent years creating with light, this newly discovered superpower, to inspire emotion, to transform spaces, and to transform realities. But technically, what is light today is maybe something that I wanted to dig with you in the subject, because we are living in this overlit and over-moving world, like very fast. So what is light today? So for me, light is a source, but it's a very big palette. I mean, a candle light is the origin of that. But then we have traditional light, we have LED light, we have video projected or LED screens, or LED strips, or lasers, or moving lights. So basically, there is no limit to what is light today. And I would even push it further, because for me, light as a matter is still about light, like how smoke or water is existing, or how a set design piece, as I was saying earlier, like it doesn't make much sense if you don't have the light designed around it. So basically, it got me to think that everything is made out of light. For me, still is my very personal view of it. But so what is multimedia? Because still was quite abstract for people, but multimedia, as I said, was even more abstract. So when I'm presented to clients, I'm multimedia director. So when I'm presented to clients, they always look at me like, okay, what is she doing in the team? So they learn like with this process, like, okay, she's doing like the more creative aspect of it, but it's very abstract, and then they understand it until they see concrete example. So I went to look for concrete, and ask Google. So you were saying data represents real life. So what does Google shows us, like in one glance, what the data is illustrating as being multimedia? It's actually a term from the 60s. And every time I hear it, actually, I see my iMac from the 90s, you know, this blue one. So when I see that, it feels like I'm not so far away from the collective awareness of this. So you see lots of like screens, headsets, social media, a lot, lots of hardwares, old CD-ROMs, so quite old feeling looking. It's also when you see multimedia jobs, like if you look in Wikipedia, it's connected to medicine, education, journalism. I mean, it's very, very wide. So it's still like not really close to what I'm doing. So for fun, I pushed and asked another AI. I asked Midjourneys, another data, to feel how the collective awareness, like in one glance, would resume what is a multimedia installation. This is what I got. So that's really the first result. I didn't dig much more into this, just to get the first grasp. And we see screens, 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 and lonely people. So I pushed a bit further and asked, imagine me a multimedia installation made out of light. And yeah, we start to feel that with a dash of light, we are getting a bit closer to what I'm actually doing, even though still people alone, still lots of squares, maybe like interpretation of screens. So I feel still that we are missing a key word to replace multimedia, but it's important for me because I really need to find one. So maybe in the end, if you have ideas, I'm open for that. We've been looking for 1 year with Martin, so it's open for discussion. And especially at Moment Factory, our leitmotif is we do it in public. So basically, our main goal is to take people away from screens and put them together and make them leave something like a collective amazement, make them feel like, okay, go outside of your house and live something together. So when you see all these screens and lonely people, it feels like we are really have a semantic problem. Um, we always say that the campfire is the oldest gathering, like how people are gathering around light, and that's our main inspiration. And we see that it's light again, still connected to a very strong warm light. And each project we try to design what we say a digital campfire. So it's really how we are connecting people around light and around a common amazement. But basically the opposite of what we just saw. So before any project, we start with a Canva, a context. I'm not going to go into the whole process of we have a client, we have a context, we have a type of public, etc. So of course we all have the same beginning of a project, but we do have a Canva, and it's always different in our case, which I'm going to show you a bit later, some examples of our work. So it's always very different types of projects, but types of Canva. So for each one, we start and we have a multimedia toolbox, and we're going to design a recipe to fit each project, to tailor-made an experience. I divided it in 4 categories. It's really my own personal view of it, because a multimedia director actually can come from any background. Mine is light, but a lot of them are motion designers or even writers, or I mean, you can grow from any creative aspect of a project and then grow into taking a big, wider part of a direction. So mine is light. So all the visible I just explained was about light. But what is interesting is when we start to dig into the second one, which is invisible. So the invisible, or as much possible, because yeah, we do our best. But it's how we hijack technology, how we control the lights, how we animate it, how we make them fly in the sky, because a drone without a light or a prop doesn't make much use for us, or how we interact with it, as Jen was saying so well, or how we create illusions, and how we orchestrate and make flow everything. So the invisible is a big part of what we do. Then, of course, there is the audible, so the whole soundscape and the music all around the experience, which give the rhythm to whatever is visible, but also to the emotion, so it's very important. And the narrative, the red thread that gives depth and that connects humans together. So that was really like the 4 big pillars that we are working with, like our toolbox. And with this, we mix digital and physical. We explore like the boundaries between creativity and technology to orchestrate. That's mainly what I do. I do orchestration. And I use light, I use music, I make flow everything with big team, of course, but we make pulse everything together, we synchronize, we have crescendo, decrescendos, like everything, the energy around all this that we use multimedia for. And that's how we get to the bottom of what is multimedia, how we create multimedia experience. But mainly, of course, we do this with multi-talents. Very important, because we cannot orchestrate anything without all these people. So behind each media, each technology, each note, each word, each visual, each image, there is a person, there is an expert bringing every project to a unique place. So for each project, we design multimedia recipe, and then we have all the artists that are behind. Our main goal is to create multi-sensorial experiences, so how we break sense of reality and that we create unexpected experiences to embody magic. So magic is something that we define like really as a rush in your body, like how you get goosebumps or how you have a tear or how you have a smile or how you get emotions out of people, and we try to do it as universal as possible. Of course, each person will be touched more from one thing to the other, but we try to have a universal language to gather people around emotions all together. Our main objective is this, and I think that Ulrich, we have the same. We design light for people. And I really like your phrase, so I wrote it down because it's basically what we try to do in all our different specialties. But the heart of what we do is still people, and that's how we get magic back. So when we see that, all these people smiling or crying or whatever, just having emotions, is really what we try to do. I will just show you now a quick video of Moment Factory that resumes a bit this this philosophy, but and then I will go deeper in some projects.
It's a little bit like the campfire in the sense that people have gathered since the beginning of time around campfires to tell stories and gather in communities. And now that fire has changed and the technology has changed and the stories have changed, but the basic human need has stayed the same.
We do it in public. It's in a way the through line to all the different types of work that we do across many different mediums.
The we is about the people, it's about the team, it's about all those people that are contributing to the project. So we is about a culture, it's about a way of thinking whereby everybody is working together as a team.
We value a variety of different inputs we take from everything around us.
We've been really lucky to have such an amazing variety of clients throughout the years, whether they're rock stars, cities, museums, brands, and this collaboration that we managed to create within these different projects taught us so much throughout the years, and we've really grown through our relationships with all these great people.
All the experience we design here take place in different environments, in different contexts, with different kind of public. It's really a great opportunity for creators to be able to each time have a different canvas.
The risk is an essential element, placing people in a state of being allowed to being wrong and make errors. It's gonna give them the confidence to really push the limits and try new stuff. And this is where innovation comes.
Pushing the boundaries of our work, doing magic, hijacking technologies, doing lots of R&Ds, trying to figure out how we can bridge between cool stuff happening in other industries, bringing them to our works.
I find that magic is the alchemy between how we deal with technology and how we customize technology to suit our own purposes.
We use interactivity and technology to bring people together in the same space and engaging with our content, with our story.
We live to experience. When we create experiences, we're creating a moment of people's lives.
How can I make the people feel the same amount of excitement in this moment that I'm feeling now while I'm creating it?
It's such an emotional feeling when you poured your heart and soul into a piece of work and then you have the crowd give that same level of magic back.
The emotion is at the core of all our projects, and I think that's what also defines us and differentiates us as well.
So it's the combination of all these things that we really care about. We think that this collaboration can create a new campfire, a digital campfire, and that it can foster communion and bringing people together in new ways that we can't even imagine today. And that's why we do it in public.
So, for the people who don't know where I work at Moment Factory, which they were the ones we're talking now at the moment. It's a unique multimedia entertainment studio. We design multimedia environments, and now we went deeper in what was actually meaning. It's a big company. We are 400 employees, and we have 5 offices around the world. The main one is in Canada and Montreal, but I work in the Paris office. We're around 20 in Paris. And yeah, we are experienced, passionate, multidisciplinary creators around the world that you also got. What we do, I think that was one of the part I was saying, like we have canvas every time we start a project, and what is really, really rich is that we have very big variety of projects. We do as much music concerts, very big, like brands activations, cities or in airports, or any big city installation, mainly also with video content. The origin of the company is motion design, then it evolves and grows as multimedia. It's all of us at the moment. In culture, so museums, basically themed theme parks, and then originals, which I'm going to go a bit deeper in because these are like shows that we develop, like kind of shows, and then we have a series of them. So I'm going to show you 2 examples just after. But what is great about this is that we get inspired from each one. So if we design something great in a concert for a concert, then we can get inspired and then use it. Like we really learn from each other, and we share a lot, like we do here. We share a lot our experiences and grow from it. And you understood, we play with new technologies. Is really something we push a lot. So just a video to show you a few of our projects now that you know our philosophy. And now maybe I just show you a few examples of projects. I worked on the 2 first one. The third one we just opened in Paris, so I thought it's a good example to show you as well. I will try to go quick, as I don't know how much time I'm left. Okay. The first one is is called the Grand Magic Hotel. It's a hotel that is next to Disneyland, next to Paris. And we've been asked to come and create a multimedia experience immersive in this hotel, which is the first one, like I think multimedia hotel immersive, whatever, in Europe. When I arrived, it was during COVID. The hotel was closed and it was looking like this. So very, there had a lot of designers came, and there's a piece of an old design and then a piece of a new design. Was really quite chaotic. But the main hall has something that is quite interesting, is that there's a lot of daylight on each side, very big windows. And architecturally, we see we have all these pillars everywhere. So we thought, okay, daylight was our main constraint, and the architecture of the space. So we designed a pillar, like a second skin of these pillars, to orchestrate the whole space through this main device. And then we went around all the pillars of the space and then created the whole gallery, multimedia gallery, let's say. So we have light, the whole light atmosphere around that is evolving with the multimedia content. The video, it's like you're immersed in different worlds. So it's a hotel underwater, then you have a hotel in a French garden, then in a forest, then in the sky. So it's really like evolving over the journey. It's a 24-hour journey, as you're like in a hotel. You wake up, you're in there, and then you go back. So you have to give people a certain variety, but also it's a hotel, so you don't want to aggress them too much. So it's really to find the right balance in what you offer as an experience. That's during the day. And then there is this Maurice. Mr. Maurice is the director of the hotel, and he's orchestrating the whole journey for the guests. So there is like a whole storytelling around him that you discover through your stay. So I'll just show you a quick video of that, how it ended. So you see like how it transforms, and of course the whole lighting, the whole soundscape is designed for each world, and the dynamic of it. You have like some very small dynamic moments, then some very ambient worlds, like ecosystems that you're invited to evolve in. Then we have the originals I was talking to you about. So it's kind of formats we develop as an experience. So we call Lumina walks. So it's outdoor walks that we design in forest mainly, but now I'm designing one that is like around an old, I don't know, a medieval castle that has a huge arboretum. So it can be many different outdoor spaces, which was really cool during COVID. I mean, after COVID, we had a lot of, that's a perfect kind of show because people can be outdoor. They could enjoy this kind of format. So this one we opened like 1 month after COVID confinement. But it was supposed to open, but then they went through and all the other shows were closed, so that was really nice. Basically, it's like around 1 kilometer walk in the different environments we are offered to walk into. Here it's in the Alps in France. And it's around 1 kilometer. You go through and you have a storytelling, and then you have a lot of discoveries all around the walk. And what is really nice, because I didn't do that before I was in Moment Factory, but like how just you are invited to walk in a forest by night is not so common. You rarely go because it's a bit scary. I was afraid of the dark, so I had to go and then walk and explore the forest by night before designing in it. And just this feeling of just connection with nature by night is really nice. So we try to emphasize this, and then also try connection, like have some room for very low installation to enjoy nature. We would try to dose and do a good recipe for that. And this is just a small video for one. And then we have these other kind of originals, which are video mapping, sound and light shows inside of historical monuments. And we just opened this one in Invalides in Paris last September. It's opened until like 4 years. I mean, it's a permanent installation. We also have one in Montreal, in the Basilique of Montreal. And here, really, the idea is to make an experience that tells about the soul of a historical place, to really respect, because here it's church, but it's not in use anymore. But a lot of times it's in cathedrals, or there's really a play with light and a respect of the story of the place. And here in particular, the challenge was the size. I don't know if you see the size of people in the space, but they're really, really small. This huge canvas, but a very beautiful one. And here's a small video to show you how it looks. So if you go to Paris, go see it. It's really nice. So now that I've taken you on a journey into the heart of what we do and what I do, I think our main goal to everybody, and I was really happy to hear the other speakers, to feel that there is really this connection. Like our main goal to all is to somehow awaken childlike wonder inside of all of us. Like we want to make people, we want them to feel good, and I think that's the main objective of everybody here, whether our specialty is. I didn't find the perfect word to replace multimedia yet, but I'm still looking. I think it's maybe the industry is growing so fast that the words are a bit behind, but we can still invent it. Also, we can create it, maybe. But I'm sure that whether it's in a monumental way like Invalid, or in the urban lighting content, or just with the essentials of our daily life, light has power. And this is the secret I'm trying to share with as much people as I can, because I believe that somehow we can all be lighting designers of our daily life and of the daily life of the people around us, and that we can create luminous shared moments. And we need that in the world more than ever. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Julie. That was amazing. I think you should just be called a magician or a lighting superhero or something like that. Thank you so much for that.